of the Railroad, Part 15, Overspeeding Railroad Cars. The engines on Sodor had been really busy recently by doing all their work. One day, Becky, Dwee, Sam, James, and Conroy were in the rail yard. "Let's hope these engines get out soon," said Becky. "I hope they do too," said Dwee. "Me too," said Sam. "A red engine would do a great job with that," said James. Beanish was in the yard, and Schronzai was exhausted. How are you today?" asked Beanish. "Pretty good," she said. The next day, Cloby was sick. Her motor didn't work. "I'm stuck here," she said. "Don't worry," said Leo. "You'll be fine." And a few minutes later, Beanish buffered up to her freight cars, and she steamed onto the Northeast Corridor. "Here we go!" laughed the troublesome trucks. "Woman train coming through!" Beanish arrived in the yard, and she was exhausted. She had to get a crew change. "I'm not sure why Troy Cloby's not here," Beanish said. "He's not feeling well," said Schronzai sadly. "I'm not feeling well either, Schronzai," Beanish said miserably. "Oh, I'm sorry," said Schronzai. "I hope you're gonna feel better." "Don't worry, Schronzai," laughed Percy. After that, Beanish steamed out of the yard. "Faster, faster," she said to herself. Then there was trouble. There was a sudden clap of the coupling. "What was that noise?" laughed one of the freight cars. "Something must have broken." "Something did not break," snapped Beanish. "It's fine." Then Beanish started to climb the hill with all her weight. "Faster! Faster!" laughed the troublesome trucks. Then there was a sudden jolt. "What was that?" they laughed. Then there was trouble. Half the train started to roll forwards with no engine. And then Beanish looked back. Half the train was missing! "Oh, goodness us!" laughed the trucks. Then Beanish's driver and fireman looked. The coupling on the leading car was broken. Then there was trouble. The freight car started to roll away. "Whee!" laughed the troublesome trucks. And they rolled faster and faster. And they went over the bridge with all their might. And then some passengers were waiting for their train when a runaway train sped by. The runaway freight cars went faster and faster as they rolled past the station. "Faster! Faster!" laughed the troublesome trucks. "We're out of control!" And they rolled down the hill. "We're going 1,000,000 miles an hour and we're gonna break apart," they said. And they went faster down the grade at a tremendous rate. Meanwhile, the Amtrak Heartland Flyer was making its way to Fort Worth, Texas. It was in a rush, and some passengers inside watched the runaway cars fly by. The freight cars ran past the fields as fast as they could, and they went faster and faster. "We're out of control," they said. A little speeder was doing some maintenance work, and then there was trouble. The brake van smacked into it, and then it kept going. "We don't care!" laughed the trucks. "That speeder's just not broken at all!" The freight cars sped over the crossing at a tremendous speed. Meanwhile, Thomas was at Wellsworth picking up passengers when he saw a train with no engine. "Cinders and ashes!" Thomas cried. "It's coming towards us!" And it did! That sounds like a runaway train! Thomas was surprised. "I hope it doesn't crash," he said. But Beanish had an idea. "I need your help with something," called Thomas. "I'm sorry, Thomas," Beanish said. "I have to catch up to the runaway train cars!" Beanish went faster and faster. As fast as her wheels could carry her, the freight car sped over the grade crossing, and the signalman switched the points, and the freight cars went right into the siding, straight into Tidmouth Sheds! Then there was trouble. Katie was delivering her goods train on her way to Vickerstown, and she was doing a fine job. And Beanish went to save the runaway train. "I must save them," said Beanish. "I must!" "Beanish, stop!" cried Katie. "You're on the wrong track!" Katie applied her emergency brakes, and she skidded along the rails. And the freight cars pushed her along. And it was too late. "Oh no!" cried Beanish as Katie tipped over, and the freight cars with their items exploded and fire began to rage. "I don't like this mess at all," Beanish said. A few minutes later, the crash became peaceful, and Katie had turned onto her side. "I'm stuck here," she said. The brake van and the tailbox car remained on the tracks, but Beanish remained upright. Before long, James saved both of the engines and brought them to the steamworks and delivered Katie's cars to the right destination. To be continued.